Cheltenham is just back winners. Galopin Des Champs in the Gold Cup, for example, is a very short price. If you think he's going to win, don't go and find an each-way bet in the race to take him on. You're taking on your own thinking. Go to the place markets, the place-only markets, the betting without Galopin Des Champs. There's plenty of ways to bet. For example, if you're going to back a horse each way against him, by your own admission, you're wasting the win part of the each-way bet. My number one rule for the question should be, are the conditions correct for said horse? Is the ground too deep? Is the ground too quick? Is the track right for them? The market tends to price up horses on their latest run. A good way to find winners is through forgiveness. If you can find a horse that maybe didn't quite run true to form last time because it didn't have the conditions to suit, then maybe you could be onto a bit of a value winner. Normally I tick off a list sort of track, trip, ground. Every horse is entirely individual, so you need to find the right conditions for the right horse. The final thing I normally add in is horses for courses. I love course form. If a horse has done well at a track previously, they tend to replicate that run and can put in a good performance. Those are your things to put together and try and come up with a winner. The question, I wasn't always a tipster. I was a scaffolder for 12 years. I actually wrote a comment on a Twitter page of a company and just said this horse will win today. I think I'd wrote a couple of more comments as well back to them before, but they had an opening. I just got a lucky break. They gave me an opportunity to write some articles for them, tips and winners for them. It was really hard graft, but here we are. This is a good one. If everybody fancies it, it can't win. You need to go back and have another look again. You need to think not like the 99%, but like the 1%. There's a good example recently. Dysart Enos was raved about on Twitter for the Greatwood Hurdle. Couldn't lose, point and shoot job, they said. Absolute nonsense. Everyone liked it. It was best to steer clear of that horse that day. That's a huge red flag. Yeah, I wasn't always a tip. Can't wait to talk about this. For a horse for Nicky Henderson called Champ. Now, I was just on a sort of an upward trajectory. Fancied this horse all year. Could not have him beat. My friend kept saying to me, 7-year-olds don't win the race, blah, blah, blah. Wasn't having it from anyone. Went to Cheltenham and I had literally told everybody about this horse. And this was the one that was going to put me on the map. And he was beaten to second. I was absolutely devastated. I just felt like my career was on an upward curve. It just wasn't quite ready and I wasn't quite there yet. The horse the following year, I was on him again. Again, telling everyone all year, this horse, Champ, Champ, Champ. They were telling me, you were wrong last year. I was like, don't worry about that. He traded at 600 to 1 in running with 2 fences to go. He was third. There was no chance he was going to win this race. By the grace of God, something picked him up that day and flew him up in between Allaho and Minella Indo. It was elation. Honestly, this was my best day in racing. Not many people